Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Adriana, and this is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And first of all, thank you for putting the link to the castle in Romania, Dracula's castle to be more specific. And wow, it looks like something my wife and I would probably like to stay. Or visit. My wife likes to go to, she likes to stay in old hotels and things that have a history and things that are haunted even. So I'm sure if we were ever in Romania, which probably will never happen, but if we were, I think that she would be delighted to stay in that castle. It looks like it's beautiful. All right, now also you posted 2 different independent speaking practice tests over at my Voxipop discussion group, and you're one of my students who has paid for the additional service to get additional feedback on your pronunciation and your speaking. And let's take a look at your first practice test. So the first one, it's do you prefer to eat a favorite food, or do you like to try new dishes and styles? Okay, let's see what you say.
Personally speaking, I prefer to try new dishes and styles of cooking because it's useful for my health and it's a learning experience. Firstly, trying new dishes and styles of cooking is useful for my health. For instance, by eating different types of food, I can achieve nutritional balance, and this will provide me all of the minerals and vitamins that are necessary for good health. Secondly, I'd rather try new dishes and styles of cooking because it's a learning experience. For example, anytime I traveled abroad, I used to try traditional food in each visited country because this helped me to learn something new about that country tradition, customs, and culture.
That's looking pretty good. Okay, so let me go back and let's listen to it in different parts.
Personally speaking, I prefer to try new dishes and styles of cooking because it's useful for my health and it's a learning experience.
Okay, so far, in terms of your topic statement, you have the 2 key points. You like new foods, it's useful, and it's a learning experience.
Firstly, trying new dishes and styles of cooking is useful for my health. For instance, by eating different types of food, I can achieve nutritional balance.
Let me look at the stress on that word again. Hold on with the positive can.
For instance, by eating different types of food, I can achieve nutrition.
So put the stress more on the main verb. Say I can achieve. I can achieve. And then also the word for it. For instance. Instance.
Nutritional balance, and this will provide me all of the minerals and vitamins that are necessary for good health.
So that's pretty good. So you're having some details in there. You have some minor pronunciation problems, but nothing that's really affecting the meaning at all. And the word like instance, this.
Secondly, I'd rather try new dishes and styles of cooking because it's a learning experience.
Okay, so your first transition word was firstly, and then the next one was secondly. So you're parallel in how you do that. That's good.
For example, anytime I traveled abroad, I used to try traditional food in each visited country because this helped me to learn something new about.
I think that was good grammar. In each visited country, you're saying in each country that I visited. So the past participle and using it as an adjective is correct.
That country tradition, customs, and culture. From my person,
I don't know. I think it's good. I'm going to give you 26 out of 30 on that. I think that in terms of if I look at the rubrics, I don't see really any major problems with this response. I think you had some very minor problems with the I versus the E vowel. For instance, this instead of for instance or this. But it doesn't really affect your meaning at all. I know exactly what you're saying. I think your grammar and your language use, your grammar vocabulary were strong. I didn't notice any errors. I think you had good topic development. Uh, you had a strong organization. Everything was connected together very well, and you had details. So 26 out of 30 on that. All right, let's listen to the next one. So this one is your question. Some students like to study for a long period of time. Others divide their time in many shorter sessions. Which one do you prefer and why?
From my personal experience, I believe that it's better to divide my study time into many shorter sessions because scientifically proven it's better and it's useful for my future development.
Okay, so there you go. So here you're saying that it's scientifically proven that study is most effective that way, and it's also better for your future development. So again, like your first response, you have your two key points right there in the topic statement. Now in the body of the speech, let's see how you develop and support those 2 points.
I'll start by saying that many scientific experiments have demonstrated that our brain cannot stay focused for a long period of time. As a result, we need.
So don't forget, with the P period of time, make sure you put enough stress on those 2 words.
To take a break, otherwise we cannot talk about a profound study, which is why I prefer to divide my study time into many shorter sessions.
Okay, so you're basing your first reason on science, on research. Now, of course, in 45 seconds, you're not expected to come up with the name of a study. Now, if you are doing an academic type paper, you would be expected to present research to help bolster the claim that you're trying to make.
Additionally, it's important for our future development to divide our study time into many shorter sessions as long as can be helpful in becoming.
As long as, I think you might be missing a subject in there. Let me listen to it one more time. As long as it can be. Let's see if you say that.
As long as can be helpful.
Yeah, you forgot your subject in there. As long as it can be.
In becoming a multitasking person.
So this one, kind of interesting. You had 2 ideas. Your second point, you didn't really develop that idea. I thought you had more examples and details to support your first point. So with this one, it's probably a better strategy for you to only talk about the science of breaking things into shorter sessions as opposed to trying to discuss 2 examples because you simply didn't have enough time to do it. So you didn't really support that second idea. And I probably told you before, if you're going to bring it up, you are now expected to provide adequate supporting detail to help explain why you think that's a good reason. So with this one, I'm going to put you at 23 points out of 30. So you simply did not develop your second point. You ran out of time. So I think your strategy or your organizational strategy for that speech did not work as well as the one that you did before. So I'll put you here at about, I'm going to say 3.0 to 3.16, between 23 and 24 points out of 30 on that particular practice test. Alrighty, so anyway, to conclude this particular video, there's 3 things here. The first thing is, at my request, I remember when you brought up Dracula before and Dracula's Castle, I was very curious about that. I asked you about it. And in fact, you gave me a website along with some pictures. So I appreciate that. In fact, I'm going to share this with my wife right now. And then secondly, you completed 2 different independent writing speaking practice tests. And the first one I thought was strong, so I gave you 26 out of 30 on that one. And the second one that you did I thought wasn't as strong as your first one because you ran out of time and you failed to support your second reason with adequate supporting details. So in that independent speaking practice test, I scored you between 23 and 24 points out of 30. Keep up the good work, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.